So just first of all, let me just say that this budget reflects the second wave of development in Guyana. For the last 5 years, you've seen much work in all of the sectors in the country. But what this budget does now is to take the manifesto promises that we made to the people in 2025 when we went to election and transform that into actionable items. So let's take a few. Let's go to a couple of them. So if you look at cost of living, the elements of cost of living, which is your water bill, your light bill, your transport, and your food. Let's take 4 basic stuff, right? And your education and your health and so on. Those are the main things. Each one of these sectors is addressed in this budget. Health, a big one. Right now, Guyanese don't pay for health care, so you don't have to go into pocket. Education, we have made education free right up to university level, so you don't go into pocket for that. We made a promise that by the end of this year, we should finish the gas to energy project. That is the latest one. And we've seen this budget give $119.4 billion to deal with the gas to energy project completion, the NGL facility, which is the plant. We also see monies for transmission and reliable power. We also see the control center needs to be finished to make sure that the power is dispatched by the end of 2026 so that we can cut the electricity cost by 50%, saving you money. So if your bill was 20 grand, you'll pay 10 grand. That is a promise we made. Then we want to make sure, as I'm on energy, let me just talk a little about that. Solar projects. Right now, we have put 18 megawatts of solar grid-tie solutions. Two plants in Essequibo, 3 in Berbice, and we're building 3 in Region 10. Together, it's 33 megawatts that will add to the grid, and it will reduce cost of producing power. And with that, obviously, you would expect reduction in your rates. We have also put in solar grid tie in Letem, Madia, Bartica, Wakenham, Legwan, and some other communities. We have also built 2 hydro, one in Mokomoko, one in Kumu, Region 9, and we built one in Kato. And all of those are producing electricity. So the energy mix is funded by this allocation of $119.4 billion. So we'll continue to do the diversification and bring power to people who never had it to. So in the hinterland, we put in about 37,000 household systems. I will continue to do that for those who did not get it as well. But I've gone into the interior on many occasions. I've seen it in the households. I recently went to Karasabai and I saw it. Which brings me to the other thing. Let's talk about it about water. So water, I think the allocation that just I heard is $21.9 billion. So we have had in the hinterland 98% access. We want to make it 100% access.
Right.
Because we have drilled about 130 something wells in the last 5 years, over $5.5 billion. I will continue to do that in the hinterland to make sure everybody have access to water. On the coastland, we're looking at access, not just access, but treatable water, right? So we have built a number of treatment plants that we take. You know, we're building 2 in, we built 1 already, we're building another 1 in Region 2, Region 3, we commissioned 2 already. In Georgetown, we have a number of them. We're doing some surface water treatment plants now, right? So rather than aquifer, we go into the surface water. Then we have a tie-in with housing where all of the housing projects move into 2nd and 3rd depth. We have to run the transmission as well as transmission for water and for electricity. So housing at about $159.1 billion. The housing drive is 8,000 houses per annum, right? We have to accommodate that with light and water. You can't give people a house without light and water. In fact, they can't build without light and water. So you have to give them as it's been built out. So that money will go into assisting that program, concentrating on making the water on the coastland because they have a lot of iron inside, so it's red. So we have to make sure we give people treated water or potable water. So that money's there is a significant amount for that vision to make sure people get treated water. On the aviation side, as you know, as we build these hinterland, on the local side, you build these hinterland airship, the prices went down. 4 airlines cut their prices. So we want to continue to build it. So we have about $4 billion in the budget to build some of the aerodromes, but there's another 35 that will go out to tender to make sure that we build them with a different model to get it done quickly, so that everybody can benefit. Because when one community see the airstrip built, the other community is asking for it. So we have to go and deal with it. And that will make sure that we keep costs low. We are building Terminal 2 at CGI because of the number of people that are coming in. We started in 2020 with 4 airlines. Suriname, Copa, American, and another one. 4 of them, right? Caribbean Airlines. 4 of them. Now we have about 16. And the passenger traffic now is year on year, we keep climbing, close to 1 million now. So the terminal that we have, the size and capacity is outgrown. So we're building Terminal 2. So there's $3.2 billion in the budget to further that project that will finish in 2028. So that is on aviation. But we have our master plan to make sure that Guyana's aviation authority, or our aviation sector, is recognized in the region, and we are a leader in the region. And we are hoping to go in a few years from now, maybe in 2028, for an IKA council seat. That is our plan, and we are working towards that, because our mandate is to make Guyana an aviation, a regional aviation hub. Same thing with maritime sector. We want to make Guyana a maritime hub. So ports and harbors in here, there's $11.2 billion to deal with the port in Parika, Charity, and so on, and dredging of the Demerara and the Berbice rivers. So you have to dredge the Demerara. Most of the containerized cargo come there, and because the ships that fetch more containers require more than 6.5 to 7 meter draft, we have to go deeper. And with that, you can get bigger ships coming in with fuel. You can get containerized ship, cargo ships coming in with fuel, and will carry down the cost. That will effectively carry down the cost on the shelf for manufactured goods, canned goods, packaged goods that normally come in. So all of that is in the effort to reduce costs wherever it is, whether it's food, whether it's packaged goods, canned goods, whether it's stuff that we don't manufacture, we got to import. Once you dredge a river and the river is deep enough, the ports now can receive bigger ships and they carry down the cost of freight, right? So those are some of the things that I would like to say that this budget offer in my sector. But there are other things that this budget offer increase in public assistance, disability, all of those social services that we do. Cash grant for the children in education. The education is $183 billion plus.
Right.
All of those things are in there to help our young population to become productive members of society. The money is there. The investment in their future is there. In agriculture, is about 113 point something billion. Agriculture is helping the farmers, helping them start up, helping them expand, helping them develop, going into new crops, new kind of agriculture, whether it's fish farming, whether it's brackish water. We are helping farmers. That farm to market access road, all of that is in that budget. So in the agriculture side, you've seen help coming too. So every aspect of this budget, it speaks to bettering the lives of people. There's so much a thing in here to reduce cost of living and for the poor and the vulnerable in our society. That is in the core of this budget. So I believe, if I sum it up, this budget speaks to a cascading, it have a cascading effect to all strata of society to make sure that their lives are better. And it will be executed through the various ministries so that the work can be done faster within this budget year. At the end of this year, the projects that are there, some of them are multi-year, but the projects that are budgeted for this year should start and finish in this year so people can benefit.